45. McCarthy says with these coattails, you could see the House going Republican as well, and that would be a part of this story as well. Let's go back out to Trace Gallagher on the West Coast with his panel. Hey, Trace.
Brett, thank you. Martha, thank you as well. We've got our panel, Steve Hilton, Jody Armour, Kaylee McGee-White, and Jono Caldwell. You're talking to your panel, Brett and Martha, and we were talking to ours, and Kaylee McGee-White was struck by the whole concept that, again, Trump was undercounted. Kaylee.
This is the third consecutive polling miss in a presidential cycle for Donald Trump. And we why so many people support him. And it's because for a long time, actually for the past decade or so, Democrats in power didn't think they needed to. And even worse, they didn't want to. They didn't want to have to stoop down to understand the concerns over immigration, over the economy. And guess what? The American people sent a very clear message tonight that you better start paying attention, and you better start paying attention soon.
We heard a lot of words, demographic. I don't know how many times we heard it, Steve Hilton, but Gianna, you talk about black voters, black male voters especially. We heard it again and again tonight, and you think it's worth talking about.
I think this is a historic night. Black men will now, those who voted for Trump will be counted as those who helped save America from further decline. I mean, Kamala Harris has tried her best to create these accents like, you better thank a union member, all of these things that she's done to try to appeal to this community, even going on Oprah Winfrey's talk show or whatever that was to say, oh, I'll pull out my gun and shoot someone that tries to come into my house. I mean, this has become nonsensical to the point that I don't know if we're looking at Medea runs for president or not. I mean, this is outstanding what has happened from the black male perspective, and I hope the Republican Party takes note.
Yeah, and you talk about young males and younger voters, Jody Armour. You're a law professor at the University of Southern California. You know what young people are geared into. Are you surprised when you see these voter analysis numbers that young voters came out heavy for Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, young voters can sniff out a fraud. They can sniff out somebody who's chameleon-like. She changes her position according to the prevailing winds. They didn't like that. Many across the country, young students said, for me, a red line also is mass atrocities, is collective punishment, is what I see going on in the Middle East, and I see us as complicit in. So they, were saying, I'm not just that enthusiastic. Yeah, and I'm not going to get out.
I got 15 seconds for you, Steve.
I just think when I see this unfold, Trace, it is just a massive victory.
Oh, we got to jump back. Sorry, guys, back to you. We got Trump coming back.
Trace, thank you. The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
The former president's comeback will be complete with a win in Wisconsin, a state that he narrowly lost 4 years ago. He is now the second president in U.S. history to win non-consecutive terms. The first was Grover Cleveland in the late 1800s. Senator J.D. Vance will become the 50th vice president of the United States. Voters express deep frustration with the Biden administration, and former President Trump and the future President Trump overperformed in urban areas, particularly with men, proving that the strategy that they've doubled and tripled down on over the course of the last few months absolutely succeeded and brought him back to the White House.
47th president of the United States. Former President Trump now defeats Vice President Kamala Harris, who entered this race just over 100 days ago. And for Democrats, they were projecting the possibility of running the table with battleground states. David Plouffe with the Democratic campaign of Harris campaign suggested that just yesterday. Now it is possible that Donald Trump runs the table with these states and builds on a big landslide electoral win We don't know where the popular vote is going to finish out, but we do know that he will be going back to the White House, and with him, Brit Hume, will be a lot of changes because he will have been there once and will know what he wants to do.
You know, he often accounts for the fact he's new to this realm that he.
These people's faces. Think about the angst and the, all that this campaign has been through, and now there is the prospect of creating what you want to create in a second administration. Your thoughts, 30,000 feet of this win.
Indictments, 2 assassination attempts, an unlikely come-from-behind victory, and history is made tonight. This is a huge moment, particularly because this is a tectonic shift due to former President, now soon-to-be current President Trump. And I just want to say this as we wait for him to come out. I remember having a conversation with Ivanka Trump in 2016 about his remarks. And before he went out to give those remarks, he had speech A and speech B. Speech A was a more boisterous Trumpian speech. Speech B was a speech full of unity. And he looked up, Ivanka said, saw the faces of crying Hillary voters. He ripped up the boisterous speech and said he wanted to heal the nation. And the first words he said were an appreciation for Hillary Clinton, for her service to our country, and then he said, now it is time for America to bind the wounds of division. And he said, we are a party of all races, creeds, and religions. That is more true tonight than it was 8 years ago, and I fully expect President Trump right now is maybe ripping up that more boisterous speech and preparing to unite the country.
It's an amazing message.
I hope Kayleigh's right. I hope you're right. And we're gonna get a chance to see here in a minute. Trey Gowdy said something on your show the other day about how one of the things that you hope also is they're a little more prepared this time. They've got a great transition team, and they're going to need it. And I hope that there are a lot of people who want to go on and be helpful.
Trey?
Yeah, I think his transition team has done a wonderful job vetting potential candidates. And to Kayleigh's point, I think a liberated Donald Trump, he's never going to be on the ballot again. This is his last term. I think, Harold, he will surprise his detractors. I think he will be not anything like what his detractors have described him as being now that he is liberated. If I'm wrong, you can hold me to that. But I think he will, a liberated Donald Trump is going to shock his detractors.
He has said that the assassination attempts had an impact on him. We saw him in many ways return to the very rough and tumble style that we've seen in Donald Trump towards the end of this. But now he will take the stage tonight as the next president of the United States, and he will not be able to run again.
Yeah.
And I think that is another liberating factor potentially.
The second time around, he now has a MAGA mandate. He'll have a Senate that he can use to push through his cabinet appointees.
Who are smart and shrewd political voices were heeded that there'd be some major changes in their agenda and their approach in this. And you think of the issue sets that they've tried to run on against this man.
Reading some of the stories, probably with a lot of anonymous sources amongst Democrats with the recriminations, and it's going to be fast and furious, and you will have people saying that Joe Biden should have dropped out the day after, not dropped out, but said he was not running for re-election on the day after that.
We'll give a speech with that tone tonight that in many ways could help him do all the things that he campaigned on in this campaign.
What does this mean for the never-Trumpers who are Republican and the Lincoln Project people and Bill Kristol and people like that who seem to abandon everything they ever previously believed in order to oppose Donald Trump?
Kellyanne?
We'll get to the never-Trumpers soon enough and the hundreds of millions of dollars wasted on them. Look, Donald Trump won this on policy and personality. I don't want to be remiss here. He is talking about energy independence, manufacturing, an economy where everybody is working, no new foreign wars, getting out of the entanglements we currently have, respecting and resourcing law enforcement, border patrol, military. And by the way, friends, we don't get those policies without that personality. What did we hear during the Republican primaries? I want Donald Trump's policies without his personality. Good luck with that. You don't get this strength and this resolve and this toughness. You don't get those policies without that. But I want to say this, it's on this phone that Huma Abedin placed a call 2:30 a.m. on November 9th, 2016, and on the other line was Secretary Clinton to concede the race to Donald Trump on my phone. I handed it to him, and I said to Vice President-elect Mike Pence, make sure Hillary actually concedes. She did. And President Trump was gracious to them too. They came to the luncheon at the Capitol after the inauguration. The Obamas and the Clintons were there. I was there to see it myself. And then something just changed. The Washington Post said, let's impeach him at noon, 2 minutes after he's inaugurated. Melania wrote about this in her book. So, Harold, I hear you. I hope everybody can unify. But I got to tell you, my friend, I think it starts with your party and not mine.
Fair enough.
They had this guy in a courtroom. He's not an indoor cat. I get it. They had him in the courtroom. They had him impeached. They had him, and
anyway, that was my only point.
I heard a gracious winner today when I talked to him. I really did. He's known for a while. He's going to. I wrote a piece on FoxNews.com October 11th saying he's going to have a narrow landslide. I think he's felt that for a while, but he wanted to go and earn it.
And I even think the people around him have to be gracious too. I think he. I don't know him as well as you, but I think the people around him can be gracious as well.
That's a different question.
We can always hope.
Yeah, well, that comes from the top.
Once more, I just want to say how much money was spent on this election. $15.9 billion worth of bill.
Wow.
B, if you spend $1,000 a day for 2,740 years, that would be $1 billion. It was 16 times that. What has been spent on every race, presidency, the whole deal. $16 billion. And here we are.
What is that, a check you can write to for every American? What did you say?
$50. About $40.
But I just want to say, every presidential race has a medium. You know, you go back to television, cable. This was, in some ways, a podcast experience of a campaign. It needed to be spent when there's a lot of ways to reach people, but I think it's really interesting and something we'll be talking about a lot in terms of the reach of these endorsements.
You know what I'm struck by? The final
and Musk and the rest of
the final ads where
they were excellent.
They talked about making America great again, but then ending with the assassination attempt and that fist in the air, the iconic image, and the fight, fight, fight.
Absolutely.
Warrior president.
And it worked.
Yep. Yeah, toughest son of a gun we ever saw. That was the last note we see in that ad. And I think, well, whatever you think of the guy, you got to admire that.
Yeah.
I mean, the adversity he's faced, everything we've seen in other presidencies and other political figures who've gone through all kinds of trouble are pale in comparison to what he's been put through.
No,
maybe it's time for his enemies to stop it.
Not only that, but the energy that he has is truly amazing. He's the Energizer Bunny. Let's check in with Aisha Hosni, speaking of the Energizer Bunny, at Trump headquarters in West Palm. Aisha, this has been a big night all night long. I'm sure it's really getting fever pitch now.
A big night, Brett and Martha, a long campaign for the former president, for all of us, the press corps that have been following him around now for more than a year. The crowd went absolutely nuts when Fox News called it here, and people were hugging each other, they were high-fiving each other, that people were on FaceTiming. I think they were just couldn't believe it that this happened tonight and they didn't have to wait days and days and days. We are now awaiting the former president to take the podium. He is here in the building, as is his running mate, now Vice President-elect J.D. Vance. They're backstage. We were told they were going to come out as soon as the election was called, and so now we're just waiting. We asked for a 2-minute warning. I don't know if we're going to get one, but hopefully we will see him soon. And so I just want to add a little bit of perspective, just as a Capitol Hill reporter that's been covering the former president for a while. When I came to Congress 3 years ago, talked privately with many powerful Republicans who did not want to see the former president back in Washington, and then to see the legal battle.
and would have had competition, and the whole thing would have
This one right now?
congratulate him on his victory.
your conscience on abortion, and you can vote.
Justice system to try to win political races.
Incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And, winning the popular vote was very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's great. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races, and I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that, nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady. Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Oh, no, she's done a great job, works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman, that one. Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Vance. And he's a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp, and you know the enemy camp is certain networks, and a lot of people don't like to, sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay, which one, CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks fine. He's still like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it, and then he just goes in and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words. Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning. But he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country, and potentially the greatest country in the world by far, and right now we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know, it was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden.
That we had the best team, and of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles, the best. Thank you.
ستاره جدید
Thank you, and thank you, Susie. Look at this. She's shot. I've never seen her be shot before. Susie. They're great. Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say?
دوباره پایین وقتی که برگشت خیلی قشنگ بود با سرعت 10,000 مایل در ساعت. بعد گفتم که این بخش محرکه تحتانیش چه اتفاقی واسش میفته. گفت نه اینو برمیگردونیم. دیدین چجوری شد؟ فوق العاده است. اگرچه کوچیک به نظر میرسه روی صفحه تلویزیون، اومد پایین 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 و بعد میدیدیم که این پایینش مشتعله و فقط ایلان همچین کاری ازش برمیاد. وقتی که گذاشته بودیمش روی میوت، یکی از افراد خیلی مهمی بود که شاید تو کل کشور و من رئیس جمهور بودم و حالا به نظر میاد که دوباره رئیس جمهور خواهم شد و بهش گفتم یه لحظه پای تلفن باش، برای اینکه اگه قرار شدم رئیس جمهور باشه واسه ثبت میکنم پای تلفن. گفتم یه لحظه صبر کن، گذاشتمش روی هولد و داشتم فرود این موشک رو تماشا میکردم و بعد گفتم که یه لحظه میشه یه 2 دقیقه پای تلفن وایسا. فکر کنم یکی از این فیلم های فضایی دارم تماشا میکنم. گوشی رو گذاشتم زمین، 45 دقیقه معطلش کردم و این راکت اومد پایین و بعد اصلا انگار فکر کردیم که داره الان به چیزی برخورد میکنه، منفجر میشه. از سمت چپ شعله‌ها اومده بودن زبانه میکشیدن، اومد پایین 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 خیلی نرم و بعد اون بازو اومدن این موشک رو گرفتن و متوقفش کردن. انگار که شب بچه تو داری بغل میکنی به همین راحتی، به همین آسونی. گفتم ایلان تو بودی پشت این قضیه؟ گفت بله. گفتم دیگه کی میتونه همچین کاری بکنه؟ روسا میتونن بکنن؟ چینیا میتونن بکنن؟ نه. آمریکا میتونه همچین کاری بکنه؟ کسی به جز تو؟ گفت نه، کسی جز من نمیتونه این موشک رو اینطوری بنشونه. گفتم واسه همینه که دوستت دارم ایلان. و بعد این طوفان فاجعه بار هلین رو داشتیم که مخصوصا نورت کارولاینا رو خیلی ویران کرد. دریاچه ایجاد کرده بود از بس که شدت داشت و به شدت خطرناک بود و مردم سزاوار این موفقیت نیست. این اتفاقی که میفته وقتی که ماشین حکومت به دنبال شما میاد که شما رو متوقف کنه و به جای اینکه متوقف بشه ادامه میده و مقاومتر میشه. سخت‌کوش‌ترین مردی که در زندگیم دیدم، خانواده‌اش باور نکردن. یعنی اینو بهش میگن کارما، اینو بهش میگن کارما. این مستحق این پیروزیه و خانواده‌اش مستحق این پیروزی هستن. میخوام تشکر کنم از همه کسانی که همراهی کردن با ما. تیو وان و البته آخرینشون که کم اهمیت‌تر از دیگران نیست، جو روگن فوق‌العاده است. متشکرم آمریکا، شبتون بخیر. عجب کسیه این بابا، فوق‌العاده بود نبود؟ و بیش از همه میخوام از میلیون‌ها آمریکایی سخت‌کوش در سراسر کشورمون تشکر کنم که با جان و دل بخشی از این جنبش ما شدن. خیلی متشکرم که امروز با شمار تاریخی و بی سابقه ظاهر شدید پای صندوق‌های رای. فوق‌العاده بود و ما پاسخ محبت شما رو خواهیم داد، بهترین عملکرد رو خواهیم داشت، شرایط رو دگرگون خواهیم کرد، شرایط رو عوض خواهیم کرد به راه‌های مختلف، در حیطه‌های مختلف. این روزی است که در یادها خواهد ماند به عنوان روزی که آمریکایی‌ها کنترل کشورشون رو دوباره به دست گرفتن. میخوام بگم که از جانب این گروه فوق‌العاده سخت‌کوش، این افراد فوق‌العاده، رابرت اف کندی جونیور یکی از اونهاست. و او کمک خواهد کرد که آمریکا رو دوباره سالم کنه. مرد خیلی شریفیه، ایده های زیادی داره و بهش کمک خواهیم کرد و فقط بهش گفتم رابی بخش نفت و گاز رو به من واگذار کن، بذار به عهده من. ما بیشتر از هر کشور دیگری نفت و گاز داریم، بیشتر از عربستان سعودی، بیشتر از روسیه. گفتم بابی از طلای مایع دوری کن، اون رو به من محول کن. مالیات رو کم خواهیم کرد، کارهایی میتونیم بکنیم که هیچ کس دیگه ای از عهده‌اش بر نمیاد. چین چیزی که ما داریم نداره، هیچ کس چیزی که ما داریم نداره. یکی از مهمترین چیزها این کمپین تاریخی بوده از لحاظ مختلف. ائتلاف گسترده و یکپارچه ایجاد کردیم که در کل تاریخ آمریکا سابقه نداشت. زن و مرد، پیر و جوان، شهرنشین و روستانشین، همه ملحق شدن به ما. و تحلیل هایی که داشتیم گوش میکردیم از کسایی که رأی داده بودن، از گوش و کنار کشور اومدن، عضو سندیکا، غیر عضو سندیکا، آفریقایی، آمریکایی، آمریکایی عرب تبار، هیسپانیک، آمریکایی مسلمان. زیبا بود، فوق العاده بود. یک همسویی و همگرایی تاریخی بود. شهروندانی از پیشینه‌های متفاوت یک هسته مشترک از منطق و عقل و تشکیل دادن. میخوام کشورمون امن باشه، هدفمون مشترکه. میخوام سطح آموزش رو بهتر کنیم، میخوایم نیروهای نظامیمون رو قوی کنیم، میخوایم از جنگ پرهیز کنیم. ما در 4 سال قبلی که من رئیس جمهور بودم هیچ جنگی نداشتیم، منهای اینکه داعش رو شکست دادیم در کوتاه‌ترین زمان ممکن. من متهم کرده بودن که جنگ افروزی میکنم، در عوض جنگ ها رو متوقف کردیم. ما برای دموکراسی، برای آزادی تلاش خواهیم کرد. آمریکا رو راهنمون خواهیم شد به سمت سرنوشت شکوهمندش. آینده مردممون رو تضمین خواهیم کرد. دیروز آخرین ایستگاه ما بود در این کمپین. باورتون میشه من دیگه میتینگ انتخاباتی برگزار نخواهم کرد. فکر کنم 900 مورد داشتیم، 900 میتینگ، 901 میتینگ، یه چیزی توی مایه ها. و خب هممون غمگین بودیم، مردم غمگین بودن. گفتم این آخرین میتینگ ماست. ولی حالا میریم یه جایی که مهمتر از این میتینگ هاست، برای اینکه میتینگ ها هدفشون این بود که من به این مسند برسم، در سمتی باشم که بتونم واقعا به کشورم کمک کنم. میخوام کشورمون رو بهتر از هر زمان گذشته کنیم. خیلی ها به من گفتن که خداوند جان من را نجات داد به یک دلیلی و یک حکمتی پشتش بود. و دلیلش این بود که کشورمون رو نجات بدم و آمریکا رو دوباره به عظمت بازگردونم. و حالا ما این مأموریت رو با هم ایجاد خواهیم کرد، انجام خواهیم داد. وظیفه پیش روی ما آسون نخواهد بود، ولی از ذره ذره انرژی و روحیم و روحیه مبارزه و جنگندگیم استفاده خواهم کرد تا وظیفه‌ای که من محول کردید رو به سرانجام برسونم. این بهترین شغل، مهمترین شغل در دنیاست. همونطور که در دوره اول ریاست جمهوریم خوب کار کردم. من با یک شعار ساده ریاست خواهم کرد. وعده هایی که داده میشن باید بهشون عمل بشه. آمریکا رو دوباره امن، شکوفا، قوی و عالی خواهیم کرد و از تک تک شهروندان این کشور دعوت میکنم که به من ملحق بشن در این وظیفه متعالی. باید که اختلاف ها رو پشت سر بگذاریم. زمان یکدل شدن و متحد شدن فرا رسیده. باید که تلاش کنیم بیش از پیش و با موفقیت دور هم جمع بشیم. این رو در دوره اول ریاست جمهوری هم دیدم، وقتی که ما موفق‌تر و موفق‌تر شدیم و وقتی که موفق میشیم افراد جذب ما میشن، برای اینکه موفقیت ما رو با هم متحد و یکپارچه میکنه. و حالا همه ما آمریکا رو در اولویت قرار خواهیم داد. آمریکا رو باید در اولویت قرار بدیم تا کشورمون رو دوباره احیا کنیم. آمریکا رو برای همه آمریکایی‌ها عالی خواهیم کرد. بنابراین میخوام به شما بگم که این افتخار فوق‌العاده‌ای برای من و من از شما سپاسگزاری میکنم. شما رو از خودم مایوس نخواهم کرد. آمریکا رو قوی‌تر از هر زمانی خواهیم کرد. خداوند حافظ شما باشه و خداوند پشت و پناه آمریکا. خیلی متشکرم.
آقایان، سخنرانی پیروزی دونالد جی ترامپ رو می‌دیدید، نامزد جمهوری خواهان در انتخابات ریاست جمهوری 2000 دوره غیر متناقض